Okay, so you're getting ready for a technical sales rep interview in the mining and construction machinery world.
Big machines.
Yeah, big machines,
Big
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 contracts,
stakes.
and maybe some big pre-interview jitters.
You bet, but that's why we're here.
That's why we're here to help you get ready and nail that interview.
We are.
So for this deep dive, we've got a career guide and interview guide from RoleCatcher.
Yeah.
Plus, we'll be giving you some extra insights into how their AI can be a real secret weapon for you.
It can.
Our mission to give you the knowledge, smart strategies, and even some sample answers to really wow those interviewers.
Sounds like a plan.
So let's start by setting the stage.
Okay.
What does a technical sales rep in mining and construction machinery actually do? Because I'm
Okay.
guessing it's more than just selling.
It is a lot more than just selling. You're really more of a consultant
Okay.
who understands not only the intricate details of the machinery, but also the unique challenges that customers face.
Yeah.
And you got to know how those products can provide solutions.
So you're not just pushing a product.
No, no, no.
You're building trust
You're building trust.
and offering expertise.
Exactly.
I bet that means strong communication skills are essential,
Oh, absolutely.
especially when you're explaining these complex technical details
Yeah.
to clients who might not be engineers.
Right. And that's something we'll dig into even deeper when we look at some interview questions.
Oh, that makes sense. So where does RoleCatcher's AI fit into all of this?
Well, RoleCatcher's AI can be a total game changer, especially when it comes to tailoring your resume and cover letter.
Okay.
It actually analyzes job descriptions
Wow.
and pinpoints the exact keywords that recruiters are looking for.
So it's like having a secret weapon to make sure your application really jumps out from that stack.
Yeah.
Now, I'm guessing this could also be helpful when it comes to preparing for the interview questions that we just talked about.
It is. We'll definitely get into how RoleCatcher's AI can help you refine your answers and practice your delivery a little later. But for now, let's dive into some of the common interview questions that you might encounter for this role.
Okay, let's do it. I'm ready to get into the nitty-gritty of interview prep.
All right, so the first question, often it's an icebreaker, but you really want to set the tone right away. Tell me about your experience in the mining and construction machinery industry.
This seems straightforward,
Yeah,
but I could see how it might be tricky if you haven't worked directly in the industry.
right. It's a bit of a tricky one.
Yeah.
You know, the interviewer is really trying to understand the depth of your knowledge
Yeah.
and relevant experience.
Okay.
So even if your background isn't directly in mining and construction machinery, think about transferable skills from related fields.
Okay.
Have you worked with heavy equipment before? Do you have experience in a technical sales role? Really highlight those connections.
So it's all about showcasing your passion for the industry
It is.
and drawing those parallels from your existing skill set.
Absolutely.
Now, what are some pitfalls to avoid with this question?
Well, you don't want to be too general or vague, you know?
Okay.
Instead of saying, I've always been interested in big machines, talk about specific projects or types of equipment that you've worked with, or even relevant courses that you've taken.
So it's about showing, not just telling.
Exactly. Showing,
Yeah.
not telling.
Yeah, okay, so imagine the interviewer follows up with, what initially sparked your interest in this industry?
Okay.
Which I think is a great follow-up question because it lets you show your genuine passion.
It does.
You could talk about a specific project that inspired you,
Yeah.
or maybe a mentor who influenced your career path.
I love that it really adds a personal touch
Yeah.
and lets you connect with the interviewer on a deeper level.
I like it.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to another common question that you might get. How do you approach a potential customer who is not interested in your product?
Oh, good one.
This one gets into your resilience, right?
Yeah.
Your salesmanship and your ability to really understand customer needs.
Exactly. It's about handling rejection gracefully and finding a way to turn a no into a yes, or at least a maybe.
Exactly. So what would be your initial approach if you were in that scenario?
Yeah.
A potential customer's not interested.
I would start by acknowledging their perspective
Okay.
and asking open-ended questions to really understand their objections. You know,
Yeah.
maybe they had a bad experience with a similar product in the past, or maybe they just don't see the value in what you're offering.
Right.
You need to find out.
And by actively listening,
Yeah.
you're showing respect and building rapport, which is essential in any sales interaction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And by uncovering those specific concerns,
Yeah.
you can start tailoring your pitch to address those needs directly.
Now, how could RoleCatcher's AI assist in preparing for this question?
Oh, this is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Imagine this. You could input a sample answer
Okay.
and get feedback on your tone, your clarity, and your overall approach.
So it's like having a personal sales coach
It really is.
in your pocket, helping you refine your communication style,
Yeah.
making sure you're hitting the right notes.
Hitting those right notes.
I love it. Okay, let's tackle another question.
Yeah.
Describe a time you had to troubleshoot a technical issue with a customer.
Okay, so this one's all about showcasing those technical skills
Okay.
and proving that you can stay cool under pressure.
It's a chance to highlight your problem-solving skills
Absolutely.
and how you communicate those complex technical details in a way that anyone can understand.
Yeah, clear, concise communication.
Now, what if the interviewer takes it a step further and asks, what was the most challenging aspect of that situation?
Okay.
Which I think is a great follow-up
It is.
because it lets you show your ability to overcome obstacles
Yeah,
and think critically.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Maybe the issue was really complex, or maybe the customer was just super frustrated and demanding.
Right? And by sharing how you navigated those challenges,
Yeah.
you're demonstrating your resilience, your adaptability,
Uh-huh.
and your commitment to customer satisfaction. I'm curious, how could RoleCatcher's AI help someone prepare for a question like this one?
Oh, well, RoleCatcher's AI can actually identify the specific technical skills and knowledge that are most relevant for the role.
Okay.
So you can really tailor your response
Yeah.
to highlight the experiences that align perfectly with the job description.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not just talking about any technical issue that you've resolved.
Right.
You're focusing on the ones that really showcase the exact skills the hiring manager is looking for.
That's a smart strategy.
It is. All right, welcome back to our deep dive. We're tackling those tough interview questions head on.
Yeah, giving you the insights you need to feel confident and prepared.
Let's jump right back in with a question that often throws people off.
Okay.
Can you tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult customer?
Okay, so this one is all about gauging your emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
your ability to handle conflict effectively,
Absolutely.
and your dedication to providing top-notch customer service.
You got it. So think back to a time when you faced a particularly challenging customer interaction.
Okay.
What was the situation? What were their concerns? And how did you approach it?
I think it's important to really emphasize active listening skills in this scenario.
No, for sure.
Show the interviewer that you genuinely cared about understanding the customer's perspective,
Yes.
even if their frustration was misplaced.
It's about demonstrating empathy and showing a willingness to find a solution that works for both parties.
Right now, imagine the interviewer follows up with, what did you learn from that experience?
That's a great one because it allows you to highlight your ability to reflect on your actions and grow from those tough situations.
Yeah. Did you refine your communication style? Did you develop new strategies for handling those difficult customers?
It's all about showing that you're not afraid to acknowledge areas for improvement
Yeah,
and that you're dedicated to continuous learning.
exactly. Okay, let's switch gears a bit to another question that often pops up in these sales interviews. How do you ensure that you are meeting your sales targets?
All right, so this one's about showcasing your drive, your organizational skills, and your commitment to achieving results.
It's about demonstrating that proactive approach to sales
Right.
and showing that you understand how to set goals, track your progress,
Mm-hmm.
and hold yourself accountable.
Absolutely. I think it's important to emphasize SMART goals here.
Yes.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
By breaking down those larger goals into smaller, more manageable steps,
Yeah.
you're setting yourself up for success.
You are, and don't be afraid to talk about the tools and strategies that you use to stay organized and on track.
Okay.
Maybe you use a CRM system, or perhaps you have a daily ritual that helps you stay focused.
Now, how could RoleCatcher's AI assist in preparing for a question like this?
I'm glad you asked because RoleCatcher's AI can actually pinpoint those specific performance metrics
Okay.
and KPIs that are super important to the company.
So you can really tailor your response and show that you understand how your sales efforts will contribute to their overall success.
You got it aligning your goals with the company's objectives. That's strategic thinking.
Okay, are you ready for another challenging question? This one sometimes feels like a bit of a trick question.
Hit me with it.
Tell me about a time you failed.
This one can be a bit daunting, but it's actually a great opportunity to show off your self-awareness,
Yeah?
your resilience,
Yeah.
and your ability to learn from your mistakes.
It's about owning up to your imperfections and showcasing a growth mindset.
Exactly. So choose an example where you faced a setback, really outline what happened, and acknowledge the mistakes that you made.
Yeah.
But most importantly, focus on the lessons you learned and how those experiences have shaped you as a professional.
Okay, so the interviewer might follow up with, what would you do differently next time?
Oh, I love that follow-up because it allows you to really demonstrate that you've taken those lessons to heart.
Right.
and that you're applying them to your future work.
Yeah, showing that you're constantly evolving and trying to improve.
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher's AI can even help you analyze your past experiences
Yeah.
and pinpoint those areas for growth.
So it's like having a personalized feedback loop
It really is.
to help you continuously develop your skills
Yeah.
and refine your approach.
Awesome. Okay, let's move on to a question that really assesses your ability to adapt and learn quickly.
Okay.
Tell me about a time you had to adapt to a new situation or learn something new quickly.
This one's all about flexibility,
Yeah.
your learning agility,
Yeah.
and your willingness to embrace those new challenges.
Exactly. And the mining and construction machinery industry, it's always changing.
It is.
New technologies, new innovations.
Yeah.
Companies are looking for people who can keep up
Right.
and adapt effectively.
So think of a time when you were thrown into a new environment,
Yeah.
faced a steep learning curve,
Yeah.
or had to learn a new skill super fast.
How did you approach it? What resources did you use, and what were those key takeaways?
Yeah, it's important to highlight your ability to problem solve, think critically, and collaborate with others when you're facing these new challenges.
I agree. And imagine the interviewer asks, what strategies do you use to stay up to date on the latest trends and technologies in this industry?
Oh, that's a great opportunity to really showcase your passion for the industry
It is.
and your commitment to constantly learning and growing.
You could mention industry publications that you follow, conferences you've attended, online courses.
Yeah.
And don't forget to mention how you've applied what you've learned to your work.
Right.
Have you implemented a new technology or adapted your sales approach based on what's happening in the industry?
It's about showing you're not just passively taking in information.
Right.
You're actively looking for ways to get better.
Exactly. Okay, let's shift gears to a question that lets you highlight your sales track record.
Okay.
Can you provide an example of a successful sale you made in the past?
This is your time to shine.
It is.
Choose an example that shows you can identify customer needs, build rapport, present solutions effectively, and close that deal.
Storytelling is key. Paint a vivid picture. Talk about the challenges, the steps you took to achieve that successful outcome.
Okay, the interviewer might ask, what was the key factor that led to you closing that deal?
That's a good follow-up question because it allows you to dig into the specifics of what worked.
Yeah.
What really resonated with that customer?
Was it your deep product knowledge,
Yeah.
your ability to build trust?
Could be.
It's all about showing your understanding of the sales cycle.
And don't forget to quantify those achievements.
Yeah.
Did you exceed your quota? Did you secure a huge contract? Those details add weight to your story.
Okay, let's tackle a question that looks at your interpersonal skills. How do you handle difficult customers?
Okay. Another behavioral question you'll want to pull from past experiences to show your emotional intelligence, your conflict resolution skills, and that dedication to customer satisfaction.
It's all about staying calm, composed, and solution-oriented, even when you're dealing with frustration or anger.
Exactly. Pick an example where you successfully handled a tough customer interaction. Outline the situation, their concerns, and the steps you took to de-escalate and find a resolution that worked for everyone.
Again, I think active listening is super important here.
Absolutely.
You really want to show that you cared about understanding their perspective.
Yeah, and that you were truly invested in finding a solution that addressed their needs.
Right. How can RoleCatcher's AI help someone prepare for a question like this?
Well, RoleCatcher can analyze customer demographics and pain points for the specific company you're interviewing with.
Okay.
That way you can tailor your response and show that you get the challenges you might face in this particular role.
So understanding those nuances of the customer base is key.
It is. You can show them, you can adjust your communication style and build rapport effectively.
Okay, you ready for our final question in this section?
Bring it on.
This one can be a real game changer.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for us?
So simple, yet so many people mess this one up.
Yeah. It's an opportunity to show your genuine interest in the role of the company, the industry.
It really is. So come prepared with some insightful questions that show you've done your research.
Yeah, you could ask about the company culture,
Great one.
their growth plans,
Yeah,
their approach to sustainability.
I like it.
You could even ask about the specific responsibilities of the role, the team dynamics opportunities for professional development, or the company's performance metrics.
All great questions.
And don't be afraid to get a little personal.
Okay.
Ask about the interviewer's experience with the company and what they enjoy most about working there.
Those personal touches go a long way. They help you connect and get some valuable insight into the company's work environment.
Welcome back to our deep dive. It's the final part.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have getting ready for that technical sales rep interview in the mining and construction machinery world.
Yeah.
We've talked about understanding the role, those tricky interview questions.
Right.
But now it's time for some bonus tips and strategies to really help you stand out from the competition.
Let's do it.
And we're going to start with something that can make a huge difference.
Okay.
Showcasing your genuine passion for the industry.
Oh, this is where it gets fun.
Yeah. You can have all the right answers, a perfect resume, but if you're not conveying that authentic enthusiasm,
Yeah.
it's going to show.
It will.
So how do we make sure we're showing that passion?
Well, you've got to go beyond surface level research.
Okay.
Dig deep into the company's products, their clients, the contributions they've made to the industry.
Yeah.
What excites you about this field?
Right. Is it the sheer power of these massive machines?
Good.
The cutting-edge technology?
Yeah.
The role they play in shaping infrastructure?
All good things?
Find those connections and let your enthusiasm shine through.
Absolutely.
And, don't be afraid to get personal.
Okay.
Share any experiences or connections you have.
Yeah.
Did you grow up near a mining town?
Uh-huh.
Family members in construction?
It makes you more memorable.
It shows you're not just looking for any job.
Right.
You're drawn to this specific field.
Makes sense.
Okay, let's talk about something else that's often overlooked. Nonverbal communication.
Ah, yes.
You're always communicating, even when you're not saying a word.
You are.
Eye contact posture, a firm handshake. All of these things speak volumes.
For sure.
And don't underestimate the power of a genuine smile.
No.
It shows you're approachable, likable, and engaged.
A smile can go a long way.
It can. And remember to be an active listener.
Yes.
Show them you're really taking in what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Ask clarifying questions. Contribute to the conversation.
Being a good listener, it's not just about interview etiquette.
Right.
It's a valuable skill to have in any sales role.
Absolutely shows you're focused on understanding needs, building those relationships.
I like it. Okay, let's touch on something that can be a bit anxiety-inducing.
Okay.
Salary expectations.
It's only natural to be curious about compensation.
Of course.
But how do we approach this during an interview?
Well, if they bring it up, be prepared with a realistic range.
Okay.
Based on your research and your experience.
And RoleCatcher has some great resources on salary benchmarks,
They do.
which can be super helpful.
They are.
And remember, it's a negotiation, not a demand.
Right.
Be open to talking about factors that might influence that compensation.
Absolutely. Experience level, location, benefits package.
And what if the interviewer doesn't bring up salary?
In that case, it's generally best to wait for later stages in the hiring process.
Okay.
The first interview is really about showing off your skills and proving you're a good fit.
Makes sense.
Huh.
Okay, let's wrap things up with one final tip that can make a big difference.
Okay.
Following up after the interview.
Ah, yes. The thank you note.
A well-written thank you note goes a long way.
It does.
Reiterates your enthusiasm, highlights key points, expresses gratitude for their time.
It's all about showing your appreciation.
And don't just send a generic email.
No.
Personalize it, mention something, you discussed something you learned about the company.
Those little details show that you're paying attention.
Right, it shows you're a true professional. You've got attention to detail.
Yeah. And you're genuinely interested.
Exactly.
So to wrap up our deep dive,
Okay.
you're now armed with a deep understanding of this career path, the interview process, and strategies to tackle those tough questions.
So what are you waiting for?
Go out there, prep, use those insights from RoleCatcher,
Yeah.
practice, and tap into the power of their AI tools.
Don't forget project confidence, enthusiasm, and that passion for the mining and construction machinery industry.
Exactly, and best of luck.
We know you'll do great.